Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't know how I work, I put a bunch of different cards from different decks on the table that tell a story and we talk about it. If you like the content on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Don't smash anything. And with that being said, let's start this reading. So this is a general reading for Pisces. Trying to see what messages are going to come out for Pisces today. These are pretty much full. Just going to move them around a little bit and then see if we can get some cards to jump out. All right. Whoop. Let's try that again. All right. Yeah, well, let me see if they'll jump. So, kind of like getting the ones that jump too, because then I don't have to decide how many cards I want. It decides for me. And a lot of times it helps. And they're kind of getting a little unruly. Let me just go through it one more time. I always try to literally keep them in my hands. That's why I consider them jumpers. All right. So I think we'll stay with that. We'll see what's going on. All right. Oh. Okay, so we have envy and man holding heart and the door to personal healing and happiness. I'm not even sure if I've actually gotten this card before. I might have gotten it a while ago. I've got other doors for sure, but wow. Personal healing and happiness. Okay. I'm not going to draw any conclusions from what I see in front of me. Let's pull Alice the Wonderland, sorry. Again, these are shuffled. We're just going to see what's going on. Yeah, I don't want to draw any, it's probably exactly what I think, but I don't want to draw any conclusions yet based on just these three cards, because I don't want to waste any time if the message is something different. Let's see what's up. We'll see what's going on. See if we can get these guys to jump. If not, we'll probably just pull three. One for each. All right. Let's see what's going on with Alice. Alice, do you have anything to say to help us out with this reading for Pisces? Pisces would like some guidance. We don't even know what the question is. Can you tell us what the question is? See what's going on. So we got 1 and 2. Ooh, that would have been 2. That would have been 2 together, which does happen a lot. Let's see if it's just warming up. Go one more time. Yeah, that would have been 2 cards. I'd prefer 1. You give us 1. Otherwise, we'll pull 1. All right, we're going to cut it from here, and then we're going to pull it off the bottom. So let's see what it is. So we have choices, feeling blocked, restrained. Okay. And then, set your course, know where you wish to go, have a plan, the right direction. Yeah, pretty sure Cancer just got this. And a moment's regret, nostalgia. Wow, this is like, we're getting the same cards. Idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. Yeah, so this goes up here. And it is exactly what I thought. Okay, so might as well start talking about it. Might as well not wait. All right. So we're talking about love. This envy here, this could be you, this could be someone else, this could be somebody you're with. Like, if it's you, you know what it is. If it's someone you're with, it could be about you, or, it might not. Or someone could be envying something that you have. If your relationship is not terrible. You know, somebody else can look at it from the outside and want that for themselves. You know, there might be some envy there. Okay, so take that how it resonates. We do have the man holding the heart. So it could, you know, be about love. It could be about relationships. I mean, it could be about work, you know, if it applies. You know, but again, you know, we have like healing. It's obviously, not only do we have healing, we don't even have like Cancer had like healing, I think it was like healing energy. You know, we don't even have like healing energy. We have healing and happiness, personal healing and happiness, but we have the door to it. Sorry. We have the door to it. So, you know, is the door locked? Is the door open? I mean, these doors are open. You can see it, right? But that's a really important statement, the door to it. Have we walked through it yet? Okay, so maybe we walked through it, we regret it, right? In the past, something happened, made a decision. It's been a little while now, can't take it back. Did we do it right? Right? We had choices. We made them. You know, we've talked before about when you're on your course and you're, you know, you feel well, people say I went off course or I veered off, or, you know, I wasn't following my path. But, you know, a lot of people say that's, you are always on your path. You're already on your path. Your path is like this, you know, so even if you feel like you're off your path, people say, well, you get back on the path. And then some people believe that you never left the path. I mean, I feel like I just said this to Cancer. So it's one of those things where if you made a choice, you made a decision. Especially, I'm sorry to say it, if you're looking back on something that you had that somebody else has now and you wish you had it, did I make the right decision by leaving this person? Do you remember why you left them? Again, this could be a job. It could be anything. It could be a hobby. Do you remember why you left it? Was it sucking too much of your money? Did it stop being fun? Was it just the people that you were with? Again, you made choices. Did you forget what it was about and go somewhere else? Like, you know, just, I don't know, let's say you were in a bowling league and you loved bowling and everything was bowling, and you joined this league and, you know, you had made these friends, and then, you know, 2.5 years later, you realize it's a drinking league where you occasionally bowl, right? Do you miss bowling? Do you need to join another league? You know what I mean? Because we make our choices, right? Do you still love what you're doing? Or are you doing it in a way you don't love it anymore? Or do you want to do something else with your time, right? Maybe the bowling league is great, but you just want to go play baseball now. You want to play hockey, right? We're just talking about setting our course. So, you know, and again, with envy, it's really hard for me to identify with envy. Because most of the time, if I see something that somebody else has that I want, my mindset is to go for it for myself. It just makes more sense to me. It's more authentic to me. It's personal to me, and more achievable, I feel like. You know, because again, I'm operating from my own law of attraction, from my own pull. So very easy for me to look at someone's relationship and go, oh, I want that person's person, you know. But you're not going to necessarily get with them what the other person got from them. You're making a choice. But we always talk about there's somebody else in that choice. And maybe even other people where you make that choice and then you just kind of go, did I do the right thing? Right? If you're making waves for yourself, you're not really through that door yet, by the way. So there's that. But let's get a little bit more information on this and see if we can pinpoint. I mean, it really does look like love, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, a man holding the heart doesn't necessarily, that when I see that card, every single time I see those cards like that, I get multiple messages. I'm getting multiple messages right now from that card. The man holding the heart to me, especially the way he looks. Let's just take a better look at this guy real quick. Right? Sorry. Pisces, you know what I'm talking about, right? So this could be someone has your heart. This could be someone is ready to give their heart to someone else. This could be somebody snatched your heart out of your chest. You understand what I'm saying? Again, we make choices. We allow them to. We choose who can take good care of our heart, who we think can take good care of our heart. We choose who rips our heart out of our chest. Set your course, right? Let's see what the moons have to say. Let's see which other signs are going to come out of here for you, Pisces. Let's see who else might be involved and what messages might be offered with that. If it doesn't jump, we'll pull one each. We'll go through it one more time. We'll cut it. Pull one each. Ooh. So you're going to make me pull cards, huh? Really? Okay. Well, you know, I really like pulling off the bottom of the deck when there's something's either hidden or it's the moon. Or so here, let's just get all three actually. Okay. So this one would have been first. So last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. Ooh, here we go again with gratitude, law of attraction. What are we bringing? What decisions did we make? Oh, first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. Taurus is in the house. We got Sagittarius. I don't know if I showed this to you. I was probably too excited. And then who else do we have? New moon in Cancer, relax. Okay. Release control, practice. Wow. This really goes along with what we were just saying. I mean, practice gratitude. We didn't much talk. We're always talking about it, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's weird. Okay. So let's put away the envy for a second. You could apply this to what I'm about to say. You could apply it to envy if you want, if this makes sense for that. If you know that this is your situation and envy is involved, okay? But this is a moment's regret and practice gratitude. And what that kind of tells me is I just shot a video about like nostalgia and moving forward. And I think it was actually an empath empowerment reading. So if you identify as an empath, you might want to check that reading out. I might put like a suggestion up here. You know, when you're looking, okay, I told Cancer too, when you're in the moment and you're trying to change your future, but you're doing it from looking at the past, you're not doing it right. First of all, just to make it clear, you have no power in the past. I don't care how bad you want to try to do that. You don't. You have power in your future, but you don't really have power in your future either in the way of looking towards your future. Yes, you can look towards your future and is set your course on the table? Absolutely. And you can set your course, but the idea is that if you don't live in the now, because now creates the future, if you're looking towards the future and you're screwing up now, future isn't going to be what you want to see. You're still going to be looking through that door. I see it, but I can't get to it. I know it's there, but I don't understand what's happening. Right? So if you're looking back, you're regretting, you're looking back. If it's done, let it be done. Release control. You made a choice. You made a choice. Stick with it. Every time hey, all right, we'll tell a story. I've been cutting a lot of stories off these days, but I will tell you that I have had situations. I'm really good at cutting people off. I'm not gonna bullshit you on that one. I've had a lot of things go in my relationships where people thought they could be a certain way, and sometimes you get caught up for a while, but basically everybody's cut off, okay? And there's been occasionally times when I look back one time in particular, but it's happened before, but one time in particular where there was a person that, I mean, I didn't really cut that person off. It was kind of more mutual, but it was, the way it was just a little funky. I got hurt, and I want to say that I think that person tried to contact me, but because it had been so long, like I didn't even open the communication. Like I just kind of thought it was like a wrong, whatever. And then my brain kicked in. I think it was like several weeks later. And then I remembered, that person. And I was a little regretful that I had not just, when I was confused about who was trying to contact me, I didn't just like read the message. I didn't even read it. I was a little bit, I was regretful for a moment. But I'll tell you something. That's this card right here. I don't know if you can read it. This is release control. No, I'm tripping. This is choices. Release control is over here, right there. But when I thought back about that person, when I moved past that moment of regret, I had made a choice. Okay. Prior to that I wasn't going to take. Well, basically the rule was that I wasn't going to take anybody back from my past who had broken my heart. And especially people who had already had a second chance, right? Nobody gets a third chance, right? That was the rule. And when I went through that bout of being regretful, I was kind of like, yeah, but that person broke my heart. He's not special. He's not any more special than anybody else. And the other thing I was going to say about that was that having the gratitude to be out of that, because let's pretend for a moment that person wasn't healed. Okay, they were just running back because they got exhausted chasing their tail. The whole reason why we weren't a thing, right? I'm going to start this cycle again. Second chance, starting the cycle again, right? No. I would rather be glad that I got out of it. I do not want to go back to that situation, and everybody can identify with this, Pisces, where I look like it was okay what you did. And I know that things happen and people, and some people really have, these relationships, and long-term relationships are very deep, meaningful relationships, where somebody does something and somebody has to get over it. And I get all that. I get it. I get making the decision to forgive someone and heal from something because you're choosing to do that, right? But at the same time, if you do that, then you have to do that properly, right? You have to make choices not to hold them accountable for everything, to keep rehashing the past, especially if they're not doing it anymore, right? Moving forward. There's certain decisions that you have to make, right? You have to set your course and move towards that direction. Okay, this is what we're going to do because I really care about that person and I don't, I get all that. But there's also times in situations where you decide that I'm sorry I even got into this. I want to get out. Right? So whatever it is that you're thinking about, because you're standing in front of that door to personal healing and happiness. And even when you're in a relationship and somebody convinces you that it is the way it is, you have choices, especially if it gets bad enough. You even might stop listening to them. You might regret listening to them in the past. How did I get here? right? You know, this could be about releasing control to get to where you want, making choices, practicing gratitude, trying to relax. Or this could be about the fact that you already released control and now you're somewhere you don't want to be, right? Because this card is also telling you to set your course, which tells me that you might have been running somebody else's course. And there is envy. You know, most of the time it's like another emotion. You know, I was going to even say jealousy, but that's not even the right word. But, you know, people feel some sort of way when they're going through something and they're not in control, or they don't have anything to be grateful about, or they don't have any choices, or they can't relax, or everything's a damn regret, right? You can release control and set your course. You can. You have to believe. Well, first of all, you have to know where you want to go. Even if you don't really know where you want to go, but you know you want to go in that direction. You know, because again, we're already talking about how the direction hasn't really changed. Like, you might think that you're going east and then north and then south and then west. You might even think that you're traveling in a big square or a circle, right? But your path is designed that way. So you're already on, you can just start walking in that direction and be on your course, right? And even if later on you're walking in that direction, you're still on your course, right? So you don't have to really know where you're going. You do have to kind of know where you want, what you want, though. You have to know what you're moving towards. Otherwise, how will you know when you get there? Right? Some of you guys probably know somebody like that, or you're like, this person is never satisfied. Like, what are they looking for? It could even be in love. What the hell are they looking for? They can't stop for 5 minutes and choose. Maybe they're looking to wander. You might want to consider that, right? I'm going to put these back where I got them. So we're going to pull the blind spot because we are going to talk about that for a few minutes. Yeah. Pretty close, if not exact. It looks like that's where they need to be for the next part of this reading. Again, we're standing in front of the door to personal healing and happiness. There's a lot of cards on the table. You have a choice to walk through it or not. Is the loudest one. You have a choice. These are actually shuffled too. Maybe we can see if we can get it to jump. Yeah, definitely if you're the envy, you need to ditch the envy. I'm not taking that one, that's really clumsy. This is me being totally clumsy with my microphone and the cards. Okay. What I really like about these cards is that you can't see what they are. You have to like literally look it up. There's no words, it's just this picture. This deck is pretty okay. We will take that card because that was it literally just came out of my hand. All right, so this is card number 72. All right, let's see what 72 is. This is the blind spot for this reading, Pisces. What is your blind spot? We're almost there. Okay. Transcendental Escapism. I started turtling. Sorry. Wow. Okay. So just generally, I'm getting like 4 messages at the same time. Okay. So regret, a moment's regret here. And I did another video where I was talking about I think it was the same thing, the nostalgia, being afraid to move forward. So yeah, a lot of times what we can do is if we are afraid to make that change, if we're afraid to move forward, you know, releasing control could be part of it. It might not, but you know, Some of you might be feeling that. You know, you could be, the regret could come from, it might not be an actual regret. It might not be you're not looking back and going, oh, I really wish I wasn't in that, da 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 da. Maybe you just don't want to move forward. You could even choose to move forward and still sabotage yourself. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Maybe, you know, it would be so much easier if I looked back at that other thing and said, you know, I missed that, right? The envy could be holding you back. I mean, it is kind of part of the gratitude. I mean, a lot of times when people have gratitude, they don't really have this because they're appreciative of what they have. They don't envy something that somebody else has. So it's the two, they don't really go together, right? But you could, if you wanted to hang on to that envy, if you didn't want to release control of anything, not just envy, but anything, then yeah, you could be escaping the situation in your own way, and you are making that choice. You know, we keep talking about blocking, or like, you know, becoming the, well, blocking. I mean, that's really what this blind spot means. Maybe you don't know that you're escaping, right? You probably do though. Because what'll happen is when you face something that you don't want to do, and it doesn't matter what it is, you always find something else to do. And you kind of know it too, like sometimes when you're doing chores and you have that one chore that you don't want to do. So you keep doing all the other chores till it gets to the point where you're down to that last chore, and then you decide you want to eat. You kind of go, why can't I get this done? You know, it's kind of the same thing, except sometimes it is actually something that you want to get done. And for some reason you're like, why does this keep, you know, and you might even be like overthinking or overdoing, you know, trying to control everything, right? Because this card's telling us to relax. So, you know, that's the envy or any emotion part of it that might be, you know, just, people don't often buy, you tell people that they have control of their situation, but they don't often buy that they're blocking the door to their personal healing and happiness. They just don't buy it. They say, well, why would I do that? I would never do that, right? I make that decision. I have choices, right? And you tell them, yeah, but you're choosing to block. Yeah, what do you mean? All I think about is this all the time. I have no envy. I'm grateful for what I have. I make good choices. I'm relaxed. I've released control. I've set my course. What side of the door are you on? Are you on the side of the door where it's all pretty and stuff? Or are you on the other side of the door, either regretting choices or not making the choice to move forward? Because you can say what you want, right? Sometimes you do have to kind of look around and say, yeah, that's not really what's happening. I can't get that thing that I can't move forward, right? You might want to go back to gratitude if that's where you are. Because again, if you're experiencing any kind of nostalgia or regret, that's part of the reason why it's not happening. And this relax card, you know, it's part of it. Releasing control and relaxing, yes, for sure will be going together. But, you know, and for some people it's one or the other, and for some people it's both, you know. You know, in a situation where it might be love, maybe they can't let go of the idea that things are going to be okay, right? They just want to control it. They can't relax. They're like, it always happens, right? But if you wanted to, you could just make the choice to set your course in the direction that you wanted to go with that person, right? Just like you could choose to set your course in whatever side you want to be on this door, right? You know, in situations where you finally get that door open, maybe you couldn't even see the other side for a really long time, and then all of a sudden that door flew open like you just walked into Oz, and you go, you know what, I'm going to go get a sandwich. Right? So we're going to talk about this a little more. We're going to pull some more cards. We're going to talk more about this blind spot here. And we're also going to talk to Taurus, Cancer, and Sagittarius. So in the extended, if this is your reading, meet us over there. And if not, until we meet again.